Well, yeah, Neil Robertson obviously predominantly lived his life in Australia, and obviously probably didn't have the match practice that the British players do over here, but now he's sort of based in the academy and done a lot of work with other professional players, practice with them and so on. He is a finished article now. He's got a lot of match experience behind him, and I wouldn't say he's got a lot left to learn at all. He's right up there and doing the business out there.
Isn't he? And 3-1, it's a bit of an ominous lead, really. Steve Davis will know that he has to be out of the blocks very sharply now, doesn't he?
He desperately needs to win this fifth frame and reduce his arrears to 3-2, because if he can do that, he'll be able then to put a little bit of pressure, albeit only a modicum of pressure, on Neil Robertson. He's got to try and pull him back somehow and try and restrain him from these great plots and break building feats that he showed in this tournament.
First to 6 this were slightly extended as opposed to the first to 5 that we've had earlier in the week, but 4-1 and a first to 6, that's a big lead, isn't it?
It'd be, well, Steve Davis, if anybody, would be able to overhaul that deficit, but it'd be a lot to ask if he was 4-1 down to Neil Robertson, yes, certainly.
So maybe this the crunch frame of the match. Let's see, shall we, as we rejoin our commentary team out in the box, John and Darren.
Thank you again. So then, a masted frame for Steve Davis, according to Dominic. A thin snick. I don't think he's covered the second red to the left. Not sure. Robertson was.
One. Now this match has changed. It was Steve Davis who was 1-0 up, and in amongst the balls in the second, and then missed a very, very easy pot, which let Neil Robertson in, and he's never looked back since. The chances have been a little bit thin since that second frame.
Didn't want to come too far, and that is perfect. Splendid shot.
Cued it perfectly. He's not quite as nice as my colleague of led you to believe. Still a nice easy pot, but positional side's a little bit harder. He's always going to collision them reds. Might be able to get past this red to the pink in the middle.
Well, yes, I was confident of the fact that you would move that pink out there, you see, Darren. Like not.
Let you off for good behaviour on that one, John.
12. 13.
For sure now. There's four to 6 reds. Nicely out in the open. Already 13 points to the good. So it looks like he's going to carry on marching on. No way he finished before the interval. In this kind of form, he's going to take some stopping wherever he plays.
21.
In cricketing parlance, Steve Davis hasn't bothered the scorers a great deal in the last 3 frames. 21 and the second, 24 and the 21. Could nudge a couple of reds out.
27.
Just the one.
$34.
What have we here? I think that is gettable, Darren.
It looks like he can just get through, and he's been very fortunate if that was the case. He's that close to the red. You have to use a little bit of side. There's not enough room, really. So this must go. Nicely played shot, but
35.
very fortunate. That could have all gone so wrong.
Does the pink now go? No, not from that angle. But Neil is approaching it from another angle, and it is available full ball.
$41.
Very cool and calm, and he is collecting.
$42.
Obviously, Neil Robertson is full of confidence.
49.
Comes to this Welsh Open anyway, with his win this year. But he goes without saying.
50.
He beat Ronnie O'Sullivan in the last round, and Ronnie O'Sullivan played very, very well indeed. To get a win over Ronnie, when he's in that kind of form, you must be playing at the best of your game.
56.
Obviously, he's gaining and growing in confidence as each match goes
57.
in his already successful young career.
And of course, in the previous round, Darren, he defeated the only 7 times world champion Stephen Hendry. And Stephen did tell us afterwards that, his words, I thought I had him. And he came back strongly. But there was only one winner,
63.
and that was Ronnie Robertson by 5 frames to 3,
64.
ending with a clearance of 141.
$71.
The scorecard self-explanatory. It is going to be a deficit of 4 frames to 1 for Steve Davis.
$79.
The frame is
79
one.
and the frame.
The break of 79. The young Australian leads by 4 frames to 1. So, what does an opponent who trails by 4 frames to 1 do?
Well, a lot to think about Steve Davis, but you know, he just needs a couple of chances to come his way. At the moment, he's playing very tight and solid, but keeps leaving that long one up for Neil Robertson, and he's knocking it in and clearing the lot. So, worrying times for Steve, but he came back in his previous match from 3-0 down, so same frame deficit. Difference being he's 4-1 behind. But it is the first to 6, so you know, you won't be panicking too much at the minute. This is a big frame. 4-2 to 5-1 is massive. Just needs a nice easy opener or nice easy chance, and to get back playing positive. I'm afraid there's nothing you can do about that. That was absolute terrific pot. Straight into the middle of the pocket. Oof.
The exhilarance
Fine.
and faith of youth. The black isn't available at the moment.
6.
Super stuff.
$13. 14.
Well, if he was to attempt this black, this is by far from being easy. Just over it, that one slightly. Well, he's just on top of his game at the moment. He made that look very, very easy. It doesn't look like he can
21.
miss.
He's going for gold.
22.
Has a choice of reds.
29. Okay.
He proved early on, Darren, that he could be patient as well. Didn't pot a ball for the first 26 minutes of the frame, or of the game, really, the first 2 frames. But
30.
then, when his opportunity came, he stepped in.
And it's been a full-on march
36.
since. At the moment, he's going like a steamroller.
37.
You just can't see him missing at the minute, John. Everything is going to plan.
Yes, it's been coming for quite a while. soon as I
44.
begin eulogising, he loses position. No, he's still on the red. He's a quarter-finalist in the UK, quarter-finalist in the world.
45.
He's the first Aussie to win the ranking tournament, the Grand Prix, with more, surely a lot more to come.
I think it's fair to say in this kind of form, he won't be far from being world champion. Maybe even this year. They're going to be more worried about him than he is about them, that's for certain.
Pot and cue ball control. Pot completed.
51.
And not bad on the black either.
Neil Robertson, 51.
Not enough to win the frame, but extremely pleasant on the eye.
And he must take full advantage of this lean chance he's been given.
1.
His first one for a couple of frames, he's already on the wrong side of the blue. The balls are sitting absolutely perfect for him. This would be
6.
a massive blow to Neil Robertson if Steve Davis could clear up, be doing real damage.
7.
Just to hold himself together. Easier said than done. But he's seen it all, and he's done it all over his illustrious career. And he's been sat in his chair, waiting for this opportunity.
Oh dear. Cruel game.
Steve Davis, 14.
He is livid with himself. He knows that was a golden opportunity to have struck back. He had a lot of room to place that cue ball. Quite unforgivable to land up behind the blue. That's what happens when you don't get many chances. For the last 3 or 4 frames, been very few and far between.
Just wondering whether he's contemplating playing the double, ending up on the black, anticipating that he wouldn't leave anything if he missed the double. Perhaps I give him too much credit. that indeed was his choice. He has covered the missed red, and none of the other four in mid-table are available for pots. And he had ended perfectly on the black. I don't think that travelled as far as Davis intended it to.
No, John, and I can tell you, I think he played that in between the brown and the green to stick the cue ball on that bottom cushion tight, so well, Neil's having a good look at this. Is this a plant into that left corner?
Foul. And a miss. Steve Davis 6.
Unbelievable. Throwing another lifeline here to Steve. He had to make the plant. Hit it all wrong. Tried it with the pink first.
One.
Well, now this is an opportunity, because even the red tied to the black is potable from this side of the table. And everything else is out in the open.
Yes, John, but you've got to say, Neil Robertson's in total control of the semi-final at 4 frames to 1 up. That was just a crazy shot. He played on the two reds to the side of the pink. Absolute crazy.
Called an unforced error, I believe.
15.
Could be very costly indeed.
16.
All the colours on their spots. Perfect for the final red. Trails by 9. And by 4 frames to 1, it should be said.
27.
It was a must-win frame for Steve Davis.
28.
All seemed lost when he trailed by 51 points to 0.
$34. $36.
Well, you could have done another 4 inches with the cue ball there. Made this green a little bit easier, but he does go on to clear this up. And pinch this frame. Neil Robertson would have
39.
thrown Steve Davis an unbelievable lifeline. And that, it has to be said, mad shot on that plant.
43. $48.
Snooker required.
54
Steve
and frame.
Davis lives
Steve Davis.
to fight another frame. He's now won 2 against his opponent's 4.
It's not over yet, and makes a change, Dominic. Robertson letting Steve Davis in rather than the other way around.
Yes, I mean, Steve has had his chances in pretty much all of these frames, but just has broken down pretty much inexplicably by missing something very simple for no real apparent reason. But I think Neil pushed the boat out there in that previous frame with that plant.
Was he potty to take this one on?
Well, he was obviously very tight whether he could get past the pink. He obviously made his mind up that he could and make the plant, and to actually catch the pink was a little bit careless. I don't like to use that word sort of injudiciously. I won't even try and say it.
Injudiciously?
Injudiciously, quite right, Oliver.
Yeah, I didn't even know what word you were trying to say.
Well, you guessed right. But, yeah, I mean, he caught the pink there. That was a bit careless from Neil. He would be very annoyed with himself there because that was a great golden chance to go 5-1 ahead, but Steve now is back in this match at 4-2, and he takes one more frame and he's in 4-3's nothing.
If he wasn't the sort of player that took those shots on, though, he probably wouldn't have won the 4 frames that he'd won previous. So you take the rough with the smooth, aren't you, if you're taking those sort of shots on?
Yes, it's a fine line. The careless thing there from Neil is actually catching the pink. If he doesn't catch the pink, he'll probably make the plant, but we'll never know, I guess. But that was a good riposte from Steve. He cleared up from there, 50-odd break, and has got back in the match somewhat now.
What do we say here? Game on? Maybe if Davis wins this one.
Well, thanks, boys, for that, but I'm afraid I'd have to disagree with my colleague Dominic Dale there and say that it was a mad shot to go for. It is gone now, he's got to forget about it. But the plant, you know, wasn't even on into the corner, he'd have had to still made it, so... But Steve Davis is happy he went for it, because it's given him a new lease of life. Knocked in a great long red then. A lot thinner on this black than he'd like, so we might see him play a safety off the yellow. He's having a little look. Knowing Steve as I know him, I think he'll be playing up to the yellow.
Steve Davis, what?
And now Robertson coming for safety this time, I believe. Yes. The red was on. I don't think he would have played it as a shot to nothing. He'd have gone into some of the reds by the black. But Steve Davis has already potted one long one. Covered his options. Is the one furthest of the 3 reds by the black potable to left middle bag? I wonder. Wonder no more.
One.
And look at his positional play.
Eight.
If he attempts the red nearest the black, he will be sending his white into the pack.
9.
And he's played it well, but finished the wrong side of the blue.
got into that a little bit too good. He's playing that with
14.
lots of right-hand side. Missed the brown on the way down, but the right-hand side kicked in. And that's why he's a lot further away from this next red than he should have been. Dead straight. So test his cue in.
Neil Robertson, 14.
Neil Robertson starting to miss a couple.
Says a lot about his confidence. The red to the left of the one attempted would have been easier to ensure safety, but he did go for the pot. And the hold of the white for the black. Now then, is it red, green pocket this time? Tempted with safety in mind, dragging his white back onto the rail.
Steve just walked back, looking at me in the commentary box, a big smile on his face, and pulled a bit of a twitchy face, but he knows the last shot he played was a bit of a stinker. He went for the red in the green pocket and leave himself on the black, and hit it that bad. Finished in no man's land. I do believe he's enjoying himself out there, even though he's behind.
Beauty. A proper smile that time, not a grimace. Steve, of course, did reach the final of this competition. Last year it was held in Cardiff in 2004. Indeed, led Ronnie O'Sullivan, was it 8-5 or 8-6, Darren? Before Ronnie eventually won 9-8.
Well, it was 8-5 John, and Steve Davis had 2 of the last 4 frames at his mercy to win that elusive title in this decade. He's won one in the 70s, he's won one in the 80s, he's won one in the 90s. The only one missing is 2000.
And I believe it was in Cardiff that he first set that target for himself to be a top 16 player when he was a 50-year-old. Well, it looks very much as if he's going to achieve that with his 50th birthday coming up in August. Last night I issued him with another challenge. I said, well, now, be the top 16 player when you're 60. I can't quote his reply.
One. Steve Davis, 1.
So close. Hitting both jaws. But what has he left? Gettable. Good putt.
1.
Black is seeable.
Could see him try and go into the back of this cluster of reds at pace to try and open them everywhere. Cue ball's going close to that middle pocket, but a little bit unfortunate really there.
8.
He played the positive shot. He got the desired connection. Still got this red to the green pocket. Not easy. Cueing tight off the side cushion.
Nine.
What a recovery from off cush. Super. And more to come.
14. $15.
There's a choice of 3 colours. Green, brown, blue.
He's a lot further away from this red than he'd have liked. And that cue ball to have travelled another 18 inches past that blue. Still fancy him to go for the red.
You noted earlier, Darren, that he's 6 foot and 3 inches. That will help him now, obviously. Doesn't need the rest.
Oh, John, and him playing this, he might cannon the red to the left of the pink, which he has. And he's been a little bit unfortunate. I think he played to get a thinner contact, and he'd have dragged up for the blue. And that's the end of this little effort. All that's left now is a safety.
Green ball. Robertson, 90.
It was too difficult even to contemplate a pot on that green. So the onus now back with Steve Davis. Oh, that's cruel, because he's left the red to the right of the bunch centre table.
One.
I don't think the blue is potable. He's only got the yellow. No, I don't think that will pass. The pink is potable, black left-hand side. Two or three mines, but now goes for the pot. Fourth mind.
Neil Robertson, 1.
Is that maturity, Darren?
Well, I think he just probably realises that he lost the last game by playing a silly shot at the wrong time. He has left Steve Davis back into this match. Puts the yellow on the side cushion. He's already 32 points ahead, so whichever way you look at it, Steve's going to need the yellow and the green.
Now what can he see? How much can he see? Not enough. And bouts like this against the Master Davis, invaluable.
Good reply by Steve. He has left this outer red. You can see it must be very tight for him to get through to the outer one, but we can only tell that from where we are due to the way he was queuing. And now he's back in prime position. Davis can feel very unfortunate
6.
with this.
But that early lead now so advantageous.
7. So
now another red and a high colour.
15.
And it'll be snooker required after this blue.
20. 21.
22. So Darren, really, it's one wrong shot selection.
28.
Apart from that, faultless virtually.
29.
Nice, John. It's been very good. Hasn't missed a couple this frame, but still been good.
Neil Robertson, 29, and frame.
And Davis, the master, stays in his chair. Neil Robertson is now within one frame of an appearance in the final.
This wasn't easy. So Steve Davis had safety. Couldn't have played it much better than he did. He must have thought, that's good. And then the way a little glance was there, obviously he'd left a path through to the red on the outside. When he used the corner, and fair dues to Neil Robertson. There's only a glimpse of a chance, but he took it with both hands. Terrific pot. And scored enough then to make sure of the frame. So no way back for Steve now.
Thank you. Frame 8. Steve Davis to break.
He needs to throw caution to the wind. And start to have a little bit of a go. He's been playing nice and tight. It hasn't got him very far. Up to now anyway. So maybe it's time now to change tactics a little.
Four possible frames remain. In order to stay in the competition, Steve Davis has to win all four. The early opportunity to the 49-year-old, albeit not easy. Narrow angle. And rejects, selects the better option and succeeds. Just asking Steve to give him a second while he gets his pink ball respotted. Can't put it up back on his own spot. All the other spots are covered, so it must go as close as it can to its original spot, which is nice and tight behind that cluster of reds. Doesn't really make much difference to Steve.
Eight. $13.
A wobble, followed by a friendly drop.
14.
This is the shot. He's going to try and drag full in the face of this pink. Loads of bottom and side. Screw straight through the pack. Well, he hit the pink full in the face. But due to the bottom and side, it's come off that cluster
21.
and finished in no man's land. If it hadn't caught the outer red on the right, cue ball might have just stopped there and spun a little. I'm afraid that's end of break.
Steve Davis, 21. One.
Well, I must say, Darren, that I hadn't spotted that plant. And to make it a couple of inches.
It was a well-judged, a well-played shot.
3. Four. $11. Steve Davis, 11.
Disappointing miss and an unexpected one. Play incidentally. Now just over 2 hours. 7 completed frames already. Entertaining stuff. Oh. Catching.
One. Six. Seven.
Hasn't gone the way Steve would have liked today. But he's still there. He's still battling. There's a little bit of luck. Nicely on the thread to the right corner. Good shot of Steve's backhand.
13.
This is going to be a lot more trouble than what it should have been. He's going to have to miss all the both colours. Go in and out. He's cued that very nicely.
18.
And already this substantial lead.
90.
Davis at his positive best.
$26. 27.
It's okay.
34.
Just the one more red. That will do
35.
nicely. And the audience appreciate that.
$40.
Means that 3 4-ball snookers are required, and that is frame over.
41.
Relax and enjoy in this frame from now on.
$46. $47.
His highest so far in the game is a 54.
$54.
Which he equals. And now beats
55. $58.
shot of the week.
59. $64. $66.
In order to win, to stay in this game and in the tournament, Steve Davis knew that he had to win
69.
all 4 remaining possible frames. Well, he's won the first. Another 3 to go for him if he's to reach the final.
73.
His opponent, Neil Robertson, still requires just 1.
$78.
Great stuff.
84. $91 on the frame. Steve Davis.
Very well done, Steve Davis.
Feet and inches or meters?
Feet and inches.
Sunday Times or News of the World?
Sunday Times.
Email or telephone?
Email.
Pyjamas or no pyjamas?
No pyjamas.
Fame or fortune?
Who cares?
As a boy, were you naughty or well behaved?
I can't really remember that far ago. It's all a blur. I think I was probably quite well behaved.
Giving or receiving?
Giving.
Half empty or half full?
Half full.
Blonde or brunette?
Personality.
What will you be doing in 15 years' time?
15 years' time, I think I'll be just sort of floating around somewhere, chilling out, doing very little.
I dare say he'll probably be in the world's top 16 in 15 years' time. He's going pretty well this afternoon in keeping in touch with Neil Robertson, but that, unfortunately, is not enough because he can't quite grab hold of him and overhaul him, can he?
No, but at 5'3", he's probably close enough to Neil Robertson now to put Neil under just a tiny bit of pressure at least. And obviously, Steve, now there's 3 possible frames remaining in this match, and Steve obviously needs to win them all, but he can just win this next one now for 5-4. Could be anybody's.
I'm not sure that Neil Robertson is scared of Steve Davis, you know. He's taking on pots as if he doesn't really mind what happens if it goes wrong.
Well, that's the great thing about Neil Robertson, isn't it? He's not really afraid of anybody, and that's why he's up there in the game's top 16 players, and will probably stay there for quite a few years, I think. But he's just such a confident character, and I think what's different in the last few years in Neil Robertson that I've seen is that he's better under pressure now, and his shot selection's better than it was a few years ago, now that he's got all that big match experience behind him.
Tell me how you'd feel if you'd beaten Ronnie O'Sullivan yesterday and Stephen Hendry the day before. You'd feel like a world beater, wouldn't you?
I'd feel like I'm just waiting to wake up, but
yeah.
No, it's a brilliant performance, and the way he played against Ronnie, he was after Ronnie from the start and made 2 century breaks in that match. It was a great match. I commentated on it with 4 centuries. You can just, no matter how well somebody plays against him, he can do the same as well, and that's what's making him such a great player.
Can't do anything if he's in his chair, though. That's all Steve Davis has to remember.
Absolutely. That's what Steve's got to do, is keep him in his chair and score and not miss any of those easy balls that he's been doing injudiciously.
Okay. Well done.
Had to get that word back in
well
there.
done. Not sure you got it right that time, or even if it was the place for it.
No.
But never mind. Dominic can just about say injudiciously. And here, I can't say it now. There we are. And here they come for frame 9. Help me, John.
Yes, both contestants, I can't say it now either, contestants back in the arena and ready for combat. And just a thought, Darren, in fact, in 15 years' time, Steve Davis will just be a few months short of being an acknowledged OAP. Such is his fortitude. 50 in August.
Yes, I bet he's looking forward to that, John, getting his bus pass. He hasn't changed a bit, has he, over the years?
A plant. Gotta make it. Well, one attempted plant has proven to be his downfall in the frame. Is this the beginning of a lot?
Four.
Still got a lot of work to do. But the main thing is he's in total control of the table.
Five.
He's played to leave the blue into the yellow pocket. He would love to get on this red so he could just roll through for the black. Pot the black in the right corner and disturb the 2 off its spot. He's just overscrewed that slightly. He might still go down for the black. Play off the side cushion.
10.
So he's coming up a little look now. See what angle he's going to need to disturb them two reds.
$11.
Okay, he had a kick then. He's a lot higher on this black than he'd have liked. He's now going to have to come off the top cushion. See both balls leaving the bed of the table.
Graceful control. Jan Verhaas.
18.
Is the black potable? We simply can't say from here. Well, presumably if you hit it perfectly correctly.
19.
He's played for it.
That looks perfect. There we are. That was the shot that I was on about a little bit earlier.
26.
Now cleared the black. This is turning into a very good chance
27.
for Neil Robertson. 3 reds out in the open. Before he got a look for the next one.
He's had to work diligently for it, though.
33. Okay. 40.
Caution, Robertson. Request to wipe the white. A well-constructed 40 so far.
41.
I'd ideally love to go into the park off this black. If he's got enough angle, that's what he'll be playing. No, he did, but he took his eyes off the black.
Robertson, 41.
Making sure he got the
Second ball.
right contact with that cluster of reds, but he hasn't done much damage other than leaving Steve a possible into the middle. Wasn't easy, and now I think Neil Robertson will have an easier one into the left centre. Well, it's tight, very, very tight.
But if he takes it, he'll open up another red. And that red now is left for Steve Davis. Black right-hand pocket. Has another to the green pocket. Arguably an easier one. Where does this end? Choice of two, centre left, centre right. This visit could prove vital. Again, a choice.
Nine.
And his total increasing all the time.
$13. 14.
A brown and one more red. Difference
18.
is 59. And now a snooker is
19.
required if he has the opportunity to set one.
$24.
Two four-ball snookers required. Oh, I don't think it'll pass. But he is much closer, and his eyes are much younger than mine.
Robertson,
But he
24.
agrees. Davis won't concede at the moment. But Neil Robertson is in position A. Defeating Michael Holt in the first round. Then defeating Stephen Hendry, 3 times Welsh champion, 7 times world champion, with a clearance in the final frame of 1-4-1. That's the third round. And then Ronnie O'Sullivan in the quarterfinals, twice the world champion, twice the Welsh Open champion. And now he faces and leads 6 times former world champion Steve Davis, and also a Welsh champion in his own right. Good attempt. If this drops, it will be all over. That's it. 1. Steve Davis knows that now. He is ready to depart the arena.
7.
having graced the competition yet again. A valiant effort by Steve Davis, but he's defeated by the young challenger. Neil Robertson wins the game, is through to the final. Victory to him by 6 frames to 3.
What's going to stop Neil Robertson this week then? Stephen Hendry couldn't do it, Ronnie O'Sullivan couldn't do it, Steve Davis couldn't do it. He's beaten, in consecutive days, the 3 greatest players that have ever lived, Dominic. Some going, isn't it?
Yes, that's fantastic work from Neil Robertson. Just such a great potter and a great builder, you know, and that's what the other players have been finding so difficult to cope with when they're playing him.
Yeah, you've got to punish him, haven't you, when he does slip up, just so with something in the back of his mind when he takes those long ones on.
Yes, if you can dent somebody's confidence, then, you know, you can stop them playing well, but once you make a few mistakes yourself and they capitalise on it, they just run away with it, and that's what happened there, really, for Steve.
He's taking them on with impunity, isn't he? Knowing full well that even if he does miss, he's not going to get punished for it particularly, and his chance will come again.
Yeah, there is a sort of an air of audacity with what Neil Robertson does out there. All his long pots are just punched into the pockets in the same way, really, that Ding plays. He just crashes them into the centre of the pockets, round the angles for a bolt colour, and he's away, and, you know, he's making these big breaks all the time, and it's going to be hard to stop.
Do you need something a little bit more to win a tournament, though?
Well, you need an all-round game, certainly, but, you know, all the top players today, including Neil Robertson, have certainly got that. He's a good tactical player, because obviously when you're playing somebody like Steve Davis, the pots aren't always going to be there to go for. And so you need a safety game that will compete with Steve's, and Neil's certainly got that, in my opinion.
Yeah, did Steve test him with the safety game today as much as he would have wanted to?
A little, but where Steve fell down really in that match, he just missed the odd ball or two that he shouldn't have missed, and Neil capitalised on it and put Steve under pressure then, and obviously when you're playing somebody who can pot balls like Neil Robertson can, you need to put them under a lot of pressure with his safety, but unfortunately that puts pressure on Steve's safety for it to be good enough to stop Neil from potting.
I just wonder how much Stephen Maguire or Andrew Higginson can test Neil Robertson tomorrow in the final, Dom?
Well, obviously it's that's Neil behind me, obviously. Other Neil.
You were hoping it was.
Good stuff, brilliant.
Yeah, we'll come back to that point in a minute. Well done, Neil. Another fantastic performance.
Yeah, I started off pretty well. Steve nicked the first frame, then yeah, I started to sort of get into my gears. Sort of, you know, I've made a few big breaks in a row, and I just took my eye off a black on 50. I'm going trying to make a correct cannon, and after that, sort of, I just did what was required to win. Really, nothing special after that.
We're just wondering how much you had it in the back of your mind that if you did miss something, if you did let Steve in, how much you'd be punished, or were you not thinking about that?
No, I don't really tend to think about that anyway. I think sometimes if I do know that I am going to be punished, I tend to play better. I tend to make more of my opportunities. I think if I know that, it doesn't matter if I miss because I'm going to get another chance, I tend to lose my wide a little bit more. And I think that's why I played so well against Hendry and Ronnie, is because I knew I had to make the most of my chances. So, you know, I know that Steve's not, you know, quite as good as what he used to be, but he's still a great player, and you know, he's still in the balls. He plays really well still.
Do you reckon you've beaten the 3 greatest players that have ever lived on consecutive days?
Yeah, I was thinking that. You know, there's something like 15 world titles between them, and God knows how many other tournaments. So yeah, it's a great achievement for me this week to beat those 3 players, and you know, hopefully go one step further.
It won't mean anything, will it, if you don't win tomorrow?
No, it won't. You know, there's no point in sort of beating all the top players in the world and then just lose in the final. Although I've got a very tough opponent no matter who I play, I'll still have to sort of put in the same preparations and be on my guard for tomorrow, that's for sure.
Do you feel unstoppable at the moment? Because you've looked at times.
Yeah, I think I've you know, played my best snooker this week, sort of in patches, and particularly against Hendry and Ronnie. And you know, hopefully I can continue it tomorrow, but yeah, I can still sort of play a touch better than this.
It's amazing how much of the game is played up there, isn't it, Dom?
I mean, Neil will be playing an opponent in the final that will be absolutely pleased to get there. Obviously, Andrew Higginson, a qualifier, has done so well and played so well in this tournament to get to the semi-final, so he got to his first final. I'm sure he'd play Neil with absolutely no pressure on him whatsoever. In the same way that when I won the Grand Prix, when I played John Higgins, I didn't think anything. I didn't think I could win. I didn't think I could lose. I just played, and that can make you dangerous. And obviously, Steve Maguire is going to be very pleased to have got to semi-final because he's had such a barren spell of late. So, you know, Neil will go into the final, I'm sure, as favourite. You know, I don't know whether you have a preference for who you play, Neil?
No, not really. Obviously, Stephen beat me in the Masters, which was a pretty sort of low-par performance from myself, so that won't really sort of come into it too much. And Andrew Higginson, you know, he's just sort of riding a pretty big wave at the moment. You know, he's just come from nowhere, really, and you know, so whoever it is going to be playing well.
How much of an edge does that give Andrew Higginson tonight in terms of, as you say, the wave that he's riding with that 147 yesterday?
Yeah.
Come out of nowhere with no pressure.
I think that I think sooner or later, I don't think he can play throughout a whole tournament without sort of thinking, oh, hang on a minute, I'm in a semi-final or a final. You know, I don't think he'll be able to play throughout the whole lot. Well, I'll certainly hope he doesn't anyway.
What will you do? Will you stay and watch tonight now? Or?
I'll just probably just go for a bite to eat and just watch a little bit on the telly, just relax really, sort of, you know, I've had a pretty bad cold all week and it's just starting to come clear now, so yeah, I'll just be chilling out and just do whatever really.
It is on the telly tonight, so I'll look forward to adding you to our viewers this evening. Thanks very much. Well done today. We'll see you tomorrow. And that is it for us this afternoon. Safe to tell you, of course, that second semi-final is on this evening. It's between Stephen Maguire and Andrew Higginson. Fascinating one this, 7:15, BBC 2 Wales. Highlights to follow then later on in the evening, and of course full coverage tomorrow afternoon of the final. Neil Robertson, and who will it be? Only one place to find out. BBC 2 Wales, 7:15 tonight. We look forward to seeing you then. But for now, from all of us here at the Newport Centre, it's bye-bye.